summer. But come on, folks, we're going to take this for at least another month. I hope you all are doing well here this morning. It's Matt Felan of the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance filling in for Art. As you guys all know, Art has been out on vacation this week, and we hope he has had a restful and great time. And wherever he was, he has stayed dry and cool, by all means. Also, there's a few cool things going on right now. So number one, it's game day. You guys heard it right. For me, it's game day. Michigan State kicks off tonight, 7 p.m. against Florida Atlantic. Matthew Mondro, if you're listening, please get those showers through quickly. Do not want to deal with thunderstorms and game delays. You got a job to do. Terry Henney, this is for you too. You got one job, gentlemen. One job, make the weather good for tonight. I guess it's also game day tomorrow, from what I hear. At the Big House with the defending national champions, Michigan playing Fresno State. And folks, this morning, I'm not going to lie, I am a little bleary-eyed. My son opened his season last night down at Holly with a 20-0 win for Bay City Western. So a great start to the football season. And I don't know about all of you. I don't hunt. I don't fish. I do football. So I'm as excited as can be. I've warned my wife tomorrow from noon until my eyes can no longer stay open. I will be in the basement watching football with the fellas, drinking milk and eating healthy snacks all day long. So when I host the show, we always try to bring in a lot of great regional guests talking about various things that are going on in the Great Lakes Bay region, whether it be in the business world, manufacturing, talking about world-class healthcare, agriculture, you name it. But one of my favorite things to talk about is what I believe is the engine behind the Great Lakes Bay region, and that is talent. And in this case, what I try to preach to everyone, and so everyone listening, I want you to hear this. We are a college region, everyone. Just as strong as Ann Arbor or East Lansing or Kalamazoo, the Great Lakes Bay region is a remarkable place for higher education. Home to 7 institutions, and I got Jonathan on trivia earlier this week on it, but folks don't realize we have every year 50,000 college students here in the Great Lakes Bay region, spanning from CMU to SVSU to Northwood to Alma, Delta, Mid-Michigan College, the Tribal College, Davenport University. We are a robust home to higher education. And I'm thrilled to be joined this morning by Dr. Michael Gavin, president of Delta College, Dr. George Grant, president of Saginaw Valley State University. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So first of all, I think I've told you this before, but the listeners may not know. For those of you that wonder, where did this Matt Felan guy come from? You can blame Delta College and Saginaw Valley State College. My parents actually met in the, gonna get in a little trouble. Let's say late 60s, early 70s. My dad was at Delta College in the broadcasting program. My mom went into education, and there weren't a whole lot of buildings at SVSC. I think she was the third graduating class. But when we talk about regionalism, and we talk about the region kind of coming together, I'll start with this for both of you. The airport was kind of number one. But don't you believe the formation of Delta College, and I'll start with you, Dr. Gavin, really kind of kicked off the region coming together, and, talk about why that's so important that the region needed a regional community college.
Yeah, that's a great question, Matt. So actually our name comes from the notion of the 3 major counties that Delta serves being our focus and bringing them together. And the location of the main campus was thought of as a regional strategy to make sure that we were serving all citizens of Midland Bay and Saginaw. Obviously, our reach goes beyond that, beyond those 3 counties. But it really is a means by which we were ensuring that citizens had access to a higher education that is both excellent and cheap. I should say affordable rather than cheap. But I also know, per your question, that what's great about Delta is that it serves 2 purposes. And I always try to make this very clear: get students to transfer for a bachelor's degree or to get them into the workforce. And you already mentioned the major areas and industries that are around the Great Lakes Bay region. And the purpose of Delta has been to serve as the talent engine of those industries of healthcare, advanced manufacturing, IT, and others that I'm sure I'm forgetting, but in a way that students and potential students can be part of the economy in a quick way, meaning less than sometimes in a semester and sometimes 2 years. And that's what we've been doing since 1961. So I do think that we serve the purpose that you were asking about. Yeah.
So I'm going to stick with Delta College for a second before going to Dr. Grant. So let's fast forward 1961 to today.
Yep.
Give folks an idea. What does Delta College look like today in terms of its enrollment, in terms of where your locations are, and maybe a smattering of what those offerings look like?
Yep. Thank you for that question, actually. So we actually are on a nice wave of pretty good success in terms of numbers, partially because we have centers in each of the downtown areas of those 3 counties that I just mentioned: Bay City, Midland, and Saginaw, right? But each of those has its own downtown center. And then we've also been reaching out into rural areas as well to have hubs. We just did one in Coleman, for instance, to make sure that we're providing access to education to everybody. And that's what we mean by the focus on equity. Everybody needs to have access and different kinds of services for success. Our enrollment for the 3rd year is up. We're up 19% in enrollment this year.
Did you just say 19 is in 19?
19.
That is outstanding.
Our completion rate went up 10% last year. And for African-American students, it went up 20%. And for Hispanic students, it went up 19%. So we're seeing a huge, and it's because of the work we've been doing the last 3 years. We've reallocated a lot of money towards those services that are outside of the classroom, which is where we're seeing most of our students struggle. And I know you need to move on to George, so I'll be real quick. But one of the points I like to make to the public out there is there is somewhat of a stigma still around community colleges. Our students actually have an 80% pass rate. We could do better with graduation, but what we're seeing is it's life that gets in the way. It is not the academics that get in the way. So what we've been trying to do is make sure that the hardest part of college for them is in the classroom: transportation, mental health, food, childcare, all of those things. We're trying to wrap services around them, and we're seeing those numbers go up as a result.
Fascinating. That's a great point, because those are the same barriers that impact people in the workforce.
100%.
Just the same.
Yep.
So, Dr. Grant, before Delta even opened its doors and they were in the planning stage, it was amazing kind of the thought that folks had, because people were like, hey, this is great that we're going to have a community college, but this isn't good enough. We're going to need a 4-year institution here as well. And I don't know how many folks realize this, but the planning for Saginaw Valley State College was happening before Delta even opened its doors. Folks had a really good vision that talent was going to be so necessary and that we had to have a 4-year institution. So talk about those humble beginnings of Saginaw Valley State College and why it was formed and really what was the foundation, Dr. Grant?
Well, thank you for inviting me. The history of Saginaw Valley was the idea that you had people in the community saying, how do we make sure that we provide higher education for, at the time they would have said, for our young people? What we know is for everybody. And so the founders, so people in the community got together and said, we need this 4-year institution, because along with the education that it can provide, it's going to attract talent, it's going to attract businesses, it's going to attract entrepreneurs. And so those founders got together and they said, we're going to start off with, and it was a private college. So Saginaw Valley started off as a private before it became public, and got the charter and put the program together, and eventually over time changed its name to Saginaw Valley State University. But the key was, how do we make sure that we are our destination community? And our founders worked really hard for that.
So, Dr. Grant, same question. I'm going to ask you to fast forward in time now here to 2024. What does Saginaw Valley State University look like today? How does your enrollment look, your locations, facilities, and maybe, again, a smattering of what your programs look like?
Yes. I think the change from the beginning to now is, of course, the growth. We're about 7,000 students. We had gone up as high as 12,000, originally around 10,000 before COVID and some other things hit. But we're 7,000. We have this year Our incoming class is 6% higher than last year. Our graduation rate continues to go up because of the commitment that our faculty and staff have to making sure our students get a great education. As the president said, that the services that maybe years ago that you didn't have to think as much about that you do now. So our mental health services, our policing services. Because someone will say, "What's your top priority?" And and our top priority, which is different than say 20 years ago, is campus safety. And so that has to be the very first thing we do. And that's the thing we have to think about every single morning when we get up, is to make sure that we have a safe campus for our faculty, staff, students, and community, and that then we put programs together to address that. So a few of the programs, our nursing program, our business program, engineering, social work, psychology, are all programs that are continuing to grow. So if you think about the top 50 professions, we offer 37 of those 50. You can get degrees in 37 of the 50 at Saginaw Valley. So that's the commitment that we have to higher education and to making sure that when people graduate, one other thing I just want to highlight that and turn it back over to you, is that the majority of our students for both our colleges stay in Michigan. And so we are contributing to the workforce. So people are paying taxes in Michigan. They are working in Michigan. They are attracting and bringing other people to the state. And so that's what we've been able to do. And 96% of our students get a job, stay in the state, or go to graduate school. And then once those who are in graduate school finish, the majority of those stay. The other thing that our founders probably didn't think a lot about is that now we attract students from around the country and around the world. So we have a number of international students while that was not the beginning mission, that we continue to grow. And so we have that opportunity to not only impact this region of the state, but we have the opportunity to impact other countries.
Well, we are just getting started with Mike Gavin from Delta College, George Grant from SVSU. And after the break, we're going to talk about one of your recent announcements of the two institutions working together.
Discover the art and style of custom framing at Cooper's Frame and Art, Saginaw's trusted locally owned frame shop for over a century. Whether custom framing your artwork, family photos, sports jerseys, or creating a shadow box of memories, Cooper's can provide the professional design that will make a statement in your home or office. They also have a wide selection of ready-made frames and framed art available. Check them out on Facebook or at coopersframe.com, located at 2905 Court Street in Saginaw.
Drivers, when you see the flashing lights of a stopped emergency vehicle, tow truck, or road maintenance vehicle, use your lights too. First, show your brake lights by slowing down at least 10 miles per hour below the posted speed limit. Then, flash your turn signal and move over to the next lane if possible. This protects roadway responders and others. It's also the law. So when you see flashing lights, slow down and move over. Sponsored by the Michigan Office of Highway Safety Planning and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
Save big money on everything for your projects at Menards. Update your outdoor space with our huge in-stock selection of AC2 pressure treated lumber, decking, and fencing. Load up big savings using our drive-through lumberyard. Plus, get free estimates fast using our deck and fence design programs. Menards, America's #1 home improvement retailer for customer satisfaction, according to J.D. Power. Visit jdpower.com for details and menards.com for deals.
Save big money at Menards.
Your local Rite Aid might be closing, but don't worry. It's easy to transfer your prescriptions with GoodRx. First, check prices at GoodRx.com or on our app. Then show your coupon to the pharmacist. It's that simple. GoodRx can save you up to 80% on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, GoodRx is free and it works whether you have insurance or not. Download the app or visit GoodRx.com today. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report. No big change in inflation in July, but the overall trend is cooling. The readings for July came in mostly as expected. The PCE price index rose 0.2%, also up 0.2 for core PCE, excluding food and energy. For the year ending in July, the increase 2.5%, and core annual inflation came in at 2.6%. Dell reported an upbeat quarter. Shares are higher. Though its unit, including personal computers, saw demand soften, Dell makes artificial intelligence servers and is seeing that business picking up. Lululemon's recent quarter was disappointing, though the stock is higher because Wall Street was expecting even weaker numbers after it pulled a new product line in July. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda, invested in you.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. When you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well. Roof repair? Done well. Kitchen sink install? Done well. Deck upgrades? Done well. Electrical upgrade? Done well. Angie's been connecting homeowners with skilled pros for nearly 30 years, so we know the difference between done and done well. Hire high-quality, certified pros at Angie.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Getting behind the wheel after drinking could change your world. Bobby here had a great time at the party and thought he was good to drive home. Now, Bobby's facing jail time, an upset wife, disappointed parents, and up to a $10,000 fine. It only takes one bad decision to change your world forever. Getting behind the wheel after you've been drinking is one of them. Drive sober or get pulled over. Learn more at NHTSA.gov. That's NHTSA.gov. This message brought to you by NHTSA.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. The Art Lewis Show is sponsored by Westside Decorating Center. Visit them at 5789 State Street in Saginaw or online at westsidedecoratingcenter.com. And folks, I was there a week ago today and was in the showroom. I was on the wallpaper hunt. Definitely not my idea, but I was on the wallpaper hunt. I'll just tell you, the staff there was great. The showroom's beautiful. A ton of great products. If you have a chance, get over to Westside Decorating Center and see them, and a great and longtime sponsor of the Art Lewis Show. So this morning, I'm joined by Michael Gavin, president of Delta College, and George Grant, president at Saginaw Valley State University. And you guys have been in the news, and you've been in the news together recently with what a lot of folks are claiming to be a historic announcement, a partnership agreement between the two institutions of how you're working together to get kids into community college, directly to SVSU, and through to graduation. Can you guys talk about what exactly this partnership entails and what it really means for students and for the region?
Okay, so two things it entails are much more clean transfer between Delta and Saginaw, so that students who complete a degree at Delta or are on their way to complete a degree at Delta will have very clear, transparent pathways into a bachelor's degree at SVSU, to include, we have students in this region who take a few courses at Delta and then they want to go to SVSU. What we've found has been very helpful in higher ed in general, but we've started to institute through this agreement is what's called reverse transfer. So student who completes, say, 30 credits at Delta, but then goes to SVSU, we're going to have a automatic approach to asking that student, once they complete 60 credits collectively between the two institutions, to get their associate's degree. And the reason for that, just to be clear about for those who are not necessarily in the works of academia, we in the region have about only a 38% associate degree or higher attainment. And so George and I believe, just having spoken with them, I don't mean to speak for you, George, but have aspirational goals of lifting that percentage up much higher. And we find through our data that students who leave any community college, but Delta specifically, we ran the data, who don't have an associate's degree, but then go try to get a bachelor's degree, often end up getting nothing. So what they end up is having a whole bunch of credits. So we're trying to put a little net around them so that at least they could get some sort of credential after they get 60 credits. If for one reason only, that it will help them get a better paying job at the end of getting a credential. So it's clean pathways, meaning less time and money spent in college, and that reverse transfer we believe will be good for the region in general, because it will allow for higher degree attainment and better money for employees and better for the economy in general.
Yeah, and George, from the SVSU perspective, why is this so important to have this formal agreement?
I think beyond SVSU is just important in our community to help our community to get a degree, because we know that their life can change. The phrase that I use is that higher education comes as close as possible to being the great equalizer. And so having that degree opens more doors. And so if we have a person that's starting at Delta and then transfers to Saginaw Valley, that we're helping along that path for them to get that degree, to get that associate's degree, to get the bachelor's degree, some to get a master's degree, but to move forward. And that by doing that, we are making our community stronger. And the other thing that's part of that is a lot of our students are first generation students. And so by getting that degree, that associate's degree, that bachelor's degree, it's going to open up more opportunities for family members, because now they have more role models. They have someone in their family that's graduated from college. And so they're saying, I can do that because, Uncle Mary did that, or Aunt Mary did that, or Uncle Bill did that. And so they'll be able to have role models to help them along the path. So that's why we thought it was important to do. It's not something that we have not been doing, but we wanted to really make it as formalized as possible. And we wanted that process of knowing that if you take these classes, they will transfer. There's no debate. There's no worry that you can move from one place to the other and you will have those degrees.
So I have to tell you, the thing that I heard most, and I'd love kind of your perspective, folks were surprised that this took so long. And I think a lot of folks thought that this was already in place. You guys have been on the dance floor together since the 1960s. And so when the announcement came up, one of the things that I saw most often was, thank God, this is long overdue. It's so great to see this. I think a lot of folks were surprised that wasn't already in place. Kind of how was that navigated through? Because clearly it had been bubbling. It had been under the surface of something that needed to improve or needed to happen. I think the question that people had was, really? That already wasn't in place? You guys have been together since the 60s here as regional partners. For those who have been asking that question, just why was that the case?
Well, I think George is right that in many pockets it was in place, but it wasn't guaranteed, right? So and this is true of any community college and four-year partnership in Michigan, because it's a state that doesn't have policy that requires four-year institutions to accept an associate's degree necessarily from the two-year partner. So, but I think what has happened because of George coming in, and I think if you even listen to what we were both talking about, is less competition, more collaboration, more focus on community to ensure that they get the degrees they want. And instead of having, to break it down real simply, what this agreement is a blanket agreement, right? That blanket value systems of how the agreements that follow from program to program are, for lack of a better way to put it, articulate and transfer. Whereas many times, actually all times before, it was more reliant on one-to-one meetings with faculty or one department meetings between faculty. So the guidance of this agreement are focused on completion at the associate's degree level, recognizing that not all students want to do that, but then that should drive the conversations among the departments about how to make sure the students complete associate's degrees, then bachelor's degrees, with the recognition, again, that not all students want to complete the associate's degree. They want to go right to SVSU, and we'll put a net around them in the way that I talked about before. So I'll belabor the point just to say it was sort of there, but it was not codified in the way that required this kind of talking between and among departments between the two institutions.
And that's exactly why I wanted to ask that question, because I think some people kind of took it wrong. Like, what do you mean that hadn't been there? And there was a deep working relationship, but getting to those details and dotting your I's and crossing your T's to make sure that those guarantees were there were big. I have great news for both of you, though. I'll tell you, my son is a senior as a class, and they all had to, on a message board, kind of write their future plans. And there were about 30 kids in the class, and he was just kind of reading them to us one day where we were driving. And I will tell you, out of the 30, 25 of the 30 said they were going to either Delta College or SVSU to start their, collegiate career. And if at least this little snapshot meant anything, look out nursing program, because it sounds like there are a lot of kids coming. So we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, I want to talk about some of the unique aspects of each university, whether it be your international programs or your broadcasting, after these messages.
From cars and trucks to boats and side-by-sides, you can cruise into a great rate with Dow Credit Union. Whether you're looking for something new or used, on-road or off, we have auto loan rates as low as 6.99% APR and recreational vehicle rates as low as 7.99% APR. Visit dowcreditunion.org/adventure and hit the road, water, or trail this summer. Rates may change and are based on creditworthiness and collateral conditions. All loans subject to approval.
The Motown sound meets Philly soul. Friday, October 11th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. The Temptations and the Spinners. Tickets as low as $62 and are on sale now at the Soaring Eagle box office and etix.com. One stage, one night only. Friday, October 11th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. The Temptations and the Spinners. More at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
Welcome to retirement. Now, replace your paycheck. To local financial coach Kevin Ray, this is what retirement planning is all about.
Building monthly paychecks. And how you build those monthly paychecks is going to determine how well in retirement you're going to enjoy it. So sit down and build a good framework, and it starts with income.
So build your framework with Kevin and the team at Insight Folios today by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I have a serious heart condition called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, or HCM. Some symptoms include being short of breath, feeling tired, or having dizziness or chest pain. I still had symptoms on my beta blocker, so I asked my cardiologist about any treatment advances. It was a breakthrough for me. That's why I'm working with Bristol Myers Squibb to raise awareness about HCM and to help others like me. Talk to your cardiologist today and visit hcmrealtalk.com for more information.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb. Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Welcome to Staples, young man. I'm starting first grade. Aw, well, Staples has crayons, markers, glue. I need a laptop. Oh, sure. With Staples Hot Deals, you can save up to $500 on select PCs.
The finances are Mom's department.
Right.
I'm looking for performance, like a Core i7 processor.
Boy, first grade has really changed.
Totally.
Save big on tech for school with Staples Hot Deals, with up to $500 off select PCs. Ends 9/14 in-store only for participating stores. Visit staples.com/stores/school deals.
In
Incoming transmission from RocketGrabPlus.com.
This week's half-off deal for Begik Nursery and Garden Center sold out fast, but there are still stellar savings to be found at RocketGrabPlus.com. With fall right around the corner, Begik Nursery and Garden Center has it all, whether you're decorating for the fall festivities or finding that perfect gift for a loved one. And be sure to check RocketGrabPlus.com for more local seasonal deals before it's too late.
Transmission terminated.
Thank you for being with WSGW in the Stormmaster Exterior Studios. You can also listen to WSGW online thanks to Stormmaster Exteriors.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. It's Matt Felan of the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance. Joined here this morning by Dr. Michael Gavin from Delta College and Dr. George Grant from SVSU. And just want to touch on a couple unique features. And Dr. Grant, you alluded to this earlier. But I don't know if folks knew in the 60s when SVSC was founded that you would have a contingent of international students. So just an observation, which I think is incredibly important for the region. Just this past weekend, I was in Saginaw Township and in one of the big shopping plazas. And there was this very obvious collection of about 20 to 30 young Chinese students all gathered outside of one of the stores. And it just stuck out like, well, that's not a normal, look here in the region. But it made my heart full because right away, my son asked, hey, what's going on there? And I said, those are SVSU students. They're here. Can you talk about the international program? And I think even one step further, Dr. Grant, why is it so important for our region to embrace, these different cultures and our international students and folks coming from across the world to come here? What's our responsibility as a region to embrace these folks?
The reason we do it is because of education, that we want to be part of making a difference, not only in this region and around the country, but around the world. And so if you have students who come here and they get an education and they go back, think about how they're going to influence their community, influence their governments, influence businesses in order to better meet the needs of their country and their region. And so that's why it's important to have students from around the world. The other reason is that our students here get that interaction and get to meet students and learn from others in other cultures. Because we do have students who've never left the region. They've not only not left the state, but they've not left the region. And this is an opportunity for that interaction. So we think it's so important to have that. And then we have students who then get to go for programs, and they get to go to different countries where they get to see what life is outside of their region, outside of the state. And as I say, that I wish every student had an opportunity to do that, because something you've seen on television, something you've read in a book or a lecture you got, and the next thing you know, you're standing in front of it. And I think that just opens up the world, and the world becomes a lot smaller because of that.
No, I love that. We took our children to Europe for the first time over spring break. Funny story, we didn't mean to, but the flights to Florida were so expensive. I joked and said, I bet you it's cheaper to fly to Europe. And I checked, and it was. So we thought, okay, why don't we make this a cultural experience? But to your point, looking at the Eiffel Tower on a picture or online or your iPhone is very different than going up the elevator in the middle of it and seeing it, being a part of it, or standing in front of the Mona Lisa with all those people. And then me reminding my son that the Mona Lisa is just a god-awful piece of artwork, and to turn around, no one's standing in front of the wedding at Cana, and that is art. That is phenomenal art. So we're gonna go stand but to your point, that experience is important. So
that as you were saying, and I think one of the best examples is standing in front of the pyramids. You've seen them on TV and movies over and over and over. And all that, you're standing there and you're looking up and saying, this thing is huge, or a number of them are huge. And so it's that experience that I think is life-changing.
I love it. So Dr. Gavin, going to go down a completely different route. And I was joking off air. I could do this interview with these gentlemen for the next 2 days straight because there's so much to talk about at both institutions. But you have a unique piece at Delta where you have a radio station and a television station, a broadcasting program. And I think I've shared this with you. My dad was the voice of Delta College Radio back in the 60s, kind of
That's awesome.
channeling his younger dreams. And, our friends here at WSGW let me do this through the Alliance, which was fun. What is it like to have such unique offerings like those at Delta? And really, what does it mean to the institution?
Well, it is really unique for a community college to have something like that. So we have NPR and PBS stations, radio and television, obviously, and much like George was just talking about, one of the benefits of having that at Delta is that we get to be part of spreading knowledge way beyond this region as a result, and also bringing knowledge in from across the world into listeners and viewers. It's really fascinating because we have special projects that are done by our staff down there. And one of the new projects that's coming out, just as a concrete example of why it's important, is we had a lawyer in Bay City who recently passed away, but represented Jackie Robinson in a civil rights case when he was in the military. And we're doing a documentary on that. We've done a documentary about the flooding here as well. But the way in which we can talk about major national, international events or progressive movements as a result of having citizens here being part of them, and then showcasing that talent and history through Bay City and in this case it was Bay City, but any of the part of the region, is a real benefit to the region. But it's also part of what I consider to be just the knowledge producing enterprise that is higher education. And it fits right into the mission of Delta College in that way.
Well, thank you guys for sharing kind of some of these unique details. We're going to take one last break. When we come back, I really want to talk about how you listeners can get your children, your grandchildren, your nieces and nephews, your neighbors into these phenomenal institutions.
This Labor Day, Art Noe Appliances bringing you incredible savings. Ready to upgrade your kitchen or laundry room? We have laundry pairs starting at just $10.99, dishwashers from $5.29, and complete kitchen suites beginning at $24.99. Choose from top brands like KitchenAid, GE, Whirlpool, Maytag, Frigidaire, Cafe, Bosch, and more. Plus, with Art's exclusive warranty, you'll get an extra year of protection on selected models at no additional cost. All of this right through our parts and service department. Need to stretch your budget even further? Visit our outlet store for unbelievable deals backed by manufacturer warranties. And for a limited time, we're paying your sales tax only at the outlet. Don't miss the Art Noe Appliance Labor Day sale. Visit us in Saginaw, Frankenmuth, and the outlet in Shields. Celebrate your hard work with incredible savings and experience the difference at Art Noe Appliance, where quality, service, and unbeatable prices come together.
Let me take a moment to talk about my friends at Quick Lane Freeland next to my car dealer, McDonald Ford. This is where you can get all of your routine maintenance done. Oil changes, brakes, tires, batteries, and they work on all makes and models of cars, not just Fords. Chevys, Toyotas, Hondas, Jeeps, Dodge, you name it. They keep them all in tip-top shape. And here is a tip from Quick Lane Freeland.
Do you suffer from allergies? Did you know FrigiFresh kills germs in your vehicle's air conditioning system? FrigiFresh is a hospital-grade disinfectant that controls pollen, molds, and mildew inside your car. It's only $20 and takes less than 10 minutes for the treatment. You can get FrigiFresh at Quick Lane next to McDonald Ford in Freeland. Just stop in. No appointment needed.
Quick Lane Freeland, right next to McDonald Ford, working on all makes and models of cars.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments.
Your can't miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
In a crisis, your number one need is food, because when things go sideways, it's always one of the first things to sell out. But if you wait to stock up, all you'll find at the grocery store are crowds of desperate people and empty shelves. That's why FEMA and the Red Cross say you need at least 72 hours of non-perishable food. But here's the good news. For Patriots, the trusted preparedness company is offering listeners of this station a special buy one, get two free deal on its best-selling 72-hour survival food kits. This new and improved kit has 20 servings of delicious food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all designed to last for 25 years. It sells for $29 and has been rated 4.4 stars by thousands of happy customers. But when you act quickly and buy one kit, you will get two more kits absolutely free. That's 3 kits for the price of one. $58 in free food. Go to freefood1.com. That's freefood1.com. This deal won't last. Go to freefood1.com now.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. It's Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, joined today by the presidents of Delta and SVSU, Michael Gavin and George Grant. So I'm going to start with you, Mike. For those that are listening and hearing about Delta, how can folks, number one, if they have children, that young professional, maybe someone who went into the workforce and mom and dad are like, hey, I need to get him back to school or her back to school. How does enrollment work? Is it still open for this semester? How can they work on financial aid? Just how do we get kids into Delta College, or not even kids, like I said? Maybe it's professionals that need to go back to school.
Yeah. Well, thanks for asking that question. So we've had, in the last couple of years, really tried to reimagine the college to be very friendly towards adults. So we are still, fall semester has begun, but we're running courses all the time, start dates at different times. So if you are hearing this right now and you want to get into college, you come to campus and we'll get you through the enrollment and financial aid process quickly, and potentially have you started mid-September or mid-October for your college career. Just as important, we have free college for almost anybody who does not have an associate's degree right now. So with the state offering what's called Reconnect, if you're over 21, you can come to college for free. If you do not have an associate's degree, we get you through that process. All you have to do is fill out what's called the FAFSA, which is a financial aid form. Similarly, if you've graduated high school in the last 3 years, you get to go to college for free. So really, if you're 19 and 20, you don't have state federal aid to get you, or state or federal aid to go for free, but we still have dollars to make that happen for you. And there are some federal dollars to make college for free for almost everybody. Last part is those resources that I was talking about in the earlier segment really have made it easier for adults with children to come to Delta. We've had a great partnership with The Rock, not the actor, but the organization. And what they've done is they've come on campus and they have the ability for students who are, for kids who are 6th grade and above, to have what we would call aftercare. So mom and dad could come to campus, take classes, drop their kid off there. They'll be able to study, do some activities, and then pick that kid up. So it's our dipping our toe in the water of a childcare solution on our main campus, but we have all kinds of services to make it easier for people to come to college. And I would say if you are listening to this and want to feel whether or not you can come, just contact our financial aid and or advising office at Delta, and we will make sure that we give you the support you need to succeed at Delta.
So President Grant, same question. If folks want to enroll at SVSU, they're interested in the school, what do they need to do and how do we get them into your institution?
Well, the easiest way to get into the institution is just go online, and it's admissions@svsu.edu, and all the information that you need. So if you're in high school and you're thinking about going to college, if you're a little bit older and you want to return, if you were in the military and you want to go, all of those things you'll find at admissions@svsu.edu. and that will get students into the program, into the university, all of the information that you need, financial aid. And we was talking about financial aid. There's a lot of financial aid out there. So you just have to have the conversation and talk to our admissions and financial aid folks about it. And if you're a family where your income is $70,000 or less, that you will be able to attend SVSU for free. All of the different scholarships and state funding that's out there will cover the cost for admissions, and you will be able to get a college degree. So we want people to take advantage of that. If your income is more than that, still fill out the application, still have the meetings, because there's so many scholarships. There's a provost scholarship, there's president scholarship, there's a bunch of different scholarships out there that will help cover the cost or cover some of the costs for in order to get a college degree. So we want people to take advantage of that.
Well, it was great seeing both of you, Dr. Gavin, Dr. Grant. Thank you for all that you do. Have a phenomenal school year. We have a lot more to talk about, so we're going to have you on the show again soon.
Great. Well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
With a focus on memory care, Nottingham Place of Midland provides for the unique needs of persons with advanced memory loss, Alzheimer's, or dementia. Our intimate community is staffed 24 hours a day with compassionate caregivers that have specialized dementia training in an enriching, comforting environment. If you have a loved one that requires memory care, call Nottingham Place today and ask about our exciting move-in specials, or visit our website for complete information. Nottingham Place, 989-837-3190.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppable bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppable, you just toss, wash, wow, for all day freshness.
Fly ball right field off the bat of McKinstry. That one's got a chance. Gone! Zach McKinstry with his 4th of the year.
The Tigers play 6:15 tonight on WSGW.
That wraps up this hour of the Art Lewis Show. Once again, want to thank Dr. Michael Gavin from Delta and Dr. George Grant from SVSU for joining me. Up in the next hour, we are going to hear from our friends at TriStar. But first, the news.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Vicki Barker. In Dallas, a police officer's been shot in his patrol car. So were 2 who went in pursuit of the suspected attacker.
All 3 were taken to local hospitals. One of those officers is listed in stable condition. One officer is listed in critical condition, and one officer died from his injuries.
The suspect is also dead. With millions planning holiday getaways,
TSA says this might be the busiest Labor Day weekend they've seen nationwide, across the country, ready to screen more than 17 million people. Today, they're preparing for nearly 3 million alone. To save time, check in online when you can, allow time for parking, baggage, and for security. And if you end up in a long line, take advantage of that time. Take everything out of your pockets and put those items in your carry-on.
CBS's Lauren Linder in Pittsburgh. AAA predicting a 9% increase in Labor Day weekend road trips this year. And if you're traveling, well, anywhere in the eastern half of the country.
Severe storms will slow your travel in the Midwest this afternoon and evening as hail falls from the sky and wind-driven rain takes down your visibility. Tomorrow, the same threats exist from New England to Nashville.
Stephanie Abrams from the Weather Channel. A family that should have been celebrating today is in deep mourning, and the NHL is mourning the shock loss of one of its own.
Columbus Blue Jackets forward Johnny Gaudreau and his brother were killed last night after getting hit by a car while riding bikes in New Jersey. The 31-year-old played 11 seasons in the NHL, including 9 with the Calgary Flames. The Blue Jackets posting a statement on X calling the death an unimaginable tragedy, saying Johnny played the game with great joy, which was felt by everyone that saw him on the ice. The brothers were reportedly in town for their sister's wedding, which was supposed to be today in Philadelphia. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
In her first broadcast interview as Democratic presidential candidate, Kamala Harris has defended her record.
In an exclusive interview on CNN, Vice President Harris defended the Biden administration's record on the economy.
Today, we know that we have inflation at under 3%. A lot of our policies have led to the reality that America recovered faster than any wealthy nation around the world.
Harris also said as president, she would reintroduce a bipartisan effort to pass immigration reform legislation, and she would remain committed to clean energy policies, while at the same time she said she would not ban fracking. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
Harris was speaking in a joint interview with running mate Tim Walz, Republican rival Donald Trump, opining it was boring. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit Progressive.com.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar. Whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners, it's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
It's Yacht Round to float your boat. Saturday, October 5th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, the Little River Band. Special guest, the Atlanta Rhythm Section. Tickets as low as $35 and are on sale now at the Soaring Eagle box office and etix.com. Smooth sailing, October 5th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, the Little River Band and Atlanta Rhythm Section, SoaringEagleCasino.com.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Hypertrophic cardiomyopathy is a serious heart condition. Some symptoms include being short of breath, feeling tired, or having dizziness or chest pain. My HCM impacted how I felt and what I could do. So I asked my cardiologist about treatment advances that gave me new options. That conversation was big for me. That's why I'm working with Bristol Myers Squibb to raise awareness about HCM and to help others like me. Talk to your cardiologist today and visit hcmrealtalk.com to learn more.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 74 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha.
Some power outages still linger in the Great Lakes Bay region from damaging winds and strong thunderstorms on Tuesday. Consumers Energy is reporting there are still 586 outages in Bay County, mostly around the Pinconning area and in Mount Forest and Beaver Townships. Midland County is reporting 641 outages in Jerome Township primarily, and some in Larkin Township as well. Power is expected to be restored later today. A state police investigation has led to the seizure of illegal guns and drugs from 2 Saginaw area locations. Police served search warrants on a home on Mason Street in Saginaw and at an apartment on Colony Drive in Saginaw Township yesterday. According to state police officials, there was a total of $7,000 in cash, 9.5 ounces of cocaine, and 4 illegal or stolen handguns, a shotgun, and a rifle. A 24-year-old man was arrested during the searches. Police say the man was on probation for prior drug offenses. State police were assisted in the investigation by the Bay Area Narcotics Enforcement Team. The Dow Championship, LPGA's Tours and Signature Team event, is returning to the Midland Country Club June 23rd to 29th next year. Here's Christiana Malacara.
The tournament, which celebrated its 5th anniversary this year, continues to grow with a strong community and sponsor support. Executive Director Carlos Padilla II expressed his excitement for the future, highlighting the event's new name and the trophy designed by Tiffany & Co. The Dow Championship is known for its sustainability efforts, generating $75 million in economic impact and donating over $2.5 million into local charities across the Great Lakes Bay region. For updates on the 2025 Dow Championship, visit dowchampionship.com. This is Christiana Malagata, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time 10:07.
This Labor Day, Art Noe Appliances bringing you incredible savings. Ready to upgrade your kitchen or laundry room? We have laundry pairs starting at just $10.99, dishwashers from $5.29, and complete kitchen suites beginning at $24.99. Choose from top brands like KitchenAid, GE, Whirlpool, Maytag, Frigidaire, Cafe, Bosch, and more. Plus, with Art's exclusive warranty, you'll get an extra year of protection on selected models at no additional cost. All of this right through our parts and service department. Need to stretch your budget even further? Visit our outlet store for unbelievable deals backed by manufacturer warranties. And for a limited time, we're paying your sales tax. Only at the outlet. Don't miss the Art Noe Appliance Labor Day sale. Visit us in Saginaw, Frankenmuth, and the outlet in Shields. Celebrate your hard work with incredible savings and experience the difference at Art Noe Appliance, where quality, service, and unbeatable prices come together.
WSGW News Time 10:08. The weather forecast is next. A new report shows the FBI failed to report suspected child abuse cases to law enforcement. The investigation was prompted by its handling of the case against disgraced USA Gymnastics team doctor Larry Nassar. In a review of more than 300 cases in 2021 and 2023, the Inspector General found no evidence the FBI complied with mandatory reporting requirements. When the FBI made a report, it did so within the 24 hours period in only 43% of the cases. The Department of Justice flagged 42 cases to the FBI in which it found concerns, including ones where there was no evidence the FBI had taken any recent investigative steps. Areas across the state are seeing a boost in hate crimes toward Palestinian Americans as the Israel-Hamas war gets closer to the one-year mark. Abed Ayoub is executive director of the Arab American Anti-Discrimination Committee. He says it's an issue that impacts everyone.
This is an issue we will be talking about because it's an issue that impacts all of us, not just as Arabs and Palestinians, but all Americans. And the question of how freely should one be able to express themselves, and how far do our First Amendment rights in this country go?
The Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy has reached an agreement with a civil rights complaint. The Sierra Club called it a groundbreaking settlement, while Eagle says the mutual resolution prevents a formal investigation. One of the main complaints says the agency disproportionately licensed hazardous waste facilities in the area with high numbers of people of color, calling it environmental racism. They also contend placement of facilities were put into lower-income communities. The agency will also start offering translation and interpretation services. WSGW News Time 10:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms here for today with partial sunshine developing and a high in the mid-80s. Winds out of the southeast around 5 to 10 miles per hour, gusting as high as 20. Then for tonight, a chance for showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy and a low near 63. Saturday, sunshine, a high of 84 degrees. Then by Sunday, plenty of blue skies and sun. We'll see a high around 77. Labor Day Monday, sunshine, high of 73. Then by Tuesday, mostly sunny skies, a high around 77. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently, it's 71.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Good morning and welcome to the Art Lewis Show. It's Matt Felan at the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, filling in for the final time here this week for Art as he is on a much-needed vacation. I've heard he is with the Trolls north on the bridge and having a great week and hope he's getting some great rest. And like I said, Art is with us all the time for, 50 some years straight. It's great when he can take a little bit of vacation. So folks, we made it. It is Friday. I don't know about you guys, but we all kind of have what's our favorite time of the year? What's the most wonderful time of the year? I have a baseball mom sitting next to me, so I know some of the things that she thinks are the best time of the year. But you know what, folks? It is the best time of the year. It's football season. It's now. I may or may not have a carload full of people and beverages and food heading to East Lansing today because it is that time of year. Some of you guys may choose to go to Ann Arbor tomorrow. I mean, if you got to do it, you got to do it. I understand. But I will be in East Lansing tonight enjoying the start of football season. For some, it's getting the kids back to school. For some, I guess it's Christmas. But for me, it's football season. So whatever you do this holiday weekend, I hope you guys enjoy. And I know that a vast majority of you that are listening are heading north. Please travel safely and enjoy a phenomenal Michigan summer holiday weekend. So when I host the show, I always have an opportunity to bring on various regional guests, whether they be corporate players, nonprofit, higher education, world-class healthcare, agriculture, and everything in between. And one of the great sectors in our region that continues to grow and that we all want to grow and thrive would be on the financial and banking side. And I am joined today by Pavel Konecny, the president and CEO of TriStar Trust, and Kristen Wuerfel, the director of marketing and communications. Good morning.
Morning. Good morning.
So let's start really big picture. Tell everyone, Pavel, what exactly is TriStar Trust? And I'm going to go one step further because people may hear bank or credit union or insurance. They know what it is, but I think sometimes people hear trust and like, okay, what does the trust mean? Can you explain exactly who TriStar is today?
TriStar Trust, we've been around since 2000, and we are a wealth management company. We have wealth management company with trust powers. What that means is that in case of somebody's passing, that they would entrust us with their monies, and we would manage their monies on their behalf and follow their call it the instructions or their dreams or their wishes while they're still not here anymore. So we make sure that all of their wishes come true. But we're also a wealth management company, so that's not just the only thing that we do. We have a full array of products where we manage people's wealth when we do financial planning and just make sure that everybody's financial future is secure. I always say that you go to a doctor to make sure your physical health is in order. We make sure that people's financial health is in order.
So you're using a word that I personally love, and I think we all want to attain to be. You're using the word wealth. So for our listeners today, and they may be interested in this, going, okay, I love that they're talking about financial management. And I also love that they're talking about that trust piece, right? And what do I do if something happens to me? And it seems to almost be saving a step. I think a lot of people have to go to another direction for that to be taken care of. But you say wealth. What does an average customer look like for you? I mean, if someone wants to come over and say, hey, I want to work with TriStar, what kind of portfolios you're talking about, what kind of level of investment, if someone really wants to come and see you, is there a certain threshold that they need to meet to be a TriStar customer?
Yeah, Matt, I'm actually very glad that you're asking that question, because there's a little bit of a misconception when somebody says TriStar Trust, and everybody thinks about trust babies and, trust as being millions and millions of dollars. And that's not the case. We don't necessarily have a set minimum, but our starting point is about $300,000. When somebody is building their wealth, we go even lower than that. Our clients range anywhere from the $300,000 to tens of millions of dollars. So, you don't have to have millions and millions of dollars to be a client of TriStar. You don't have to have that kind of money to be taken care of by us. We'll take care of pretty much anybody who needs help.
And so our listeners have an idea. Where all are your facilities located? Where all do you have offices? And I think, if I'm not mistaken, you have been a growing organization, which is great news. How many employees do you guys now have at TriStar?
So we have 61 employees. We started in 2000 with 3. Fast forward 24 years, we're at 61 employees. We started with $0 under management. Fast forward to 2024, we're close to $3 billion in asset under management. We've got 4 locations, one in Midland, main location in Saginaw, Frankenmuth, and in Lansing.
Wow. So this growth has been great. How much do you think, has really been predicated upon what happened after the financial meltdowns of 2007, 8, 9? Tough times, the market lost a lot of money. I always talk about, it's all unrealized, right? If you don't sell, you don't do anything, and you have patience. You always hope that the trend follows and that it will bounce back, right? Some people have patience, some don't. Some panic, some don't. What do you think really the health of the market and the health of the economy have been since the collapse over the course of the last 15 years? Oh, also with a slight little wobble called COVID in there. It's great that you've been able to see this growth in that time frame. Isn't that a good sign?
Very much so, yes. There's a couple of reasons for that. The market's been strong. Obviously, you started in 2000. You had the tech bubble that burst in 2000, 2001, 2002. Those were tough times. Then came 2008, 2009. The market dropped to its lowest in middle of March of 2009, and wiped out quite a lot of wealth during that same period of time. And things were going pretty well, right? And then all of a sudden COVID hits, and then we had another dip. Yet since COVID hit, the market is up. It basically doubled in value. So as far as the market is concerned, it is not unusual. You have dips that take place. I think what's interesting about TriStar is that we actually add quite a few clients during those times, and the reason being is that we turned from money managers to call us counselors. So we're pretty active and proactively go out and have conversations with our clients. We've got a ton of experts on standby who can explain the dynamics of the equity markets and the bond market and basically all of the markets out there. And we just got to help people understand that this is not unusual. The fundamentals of U.S. economy are solid. We're in it for the long run, and things gonna work themselves out. So during that time where people kind of run for the hills, I don't want to really talk about it. We actually proactively go out, and we try to keep everybody calm and relaxed, and knowing that, hey, listen, we build a goal. We've got a goal for you. The goal is out there 10, 15 years. Let's just keep our eyes on that goal, and let's not worry about some of these intermittent issues that might come up inevitably.
I love it. So my son last year as a junior in high school took a personal finance class, and one day he came home and he said, "Dad, we have to have a conversation." No one ever likes that. It generally costs me money or something's wrong. I'm like, "Oh boy, here we go." And he goes, "Dad, I need assets." I said, excuse me? He said, yes, I've been learning in personal finance. I need assets. I don't have assets. I said, sir, you're 17 years old. I said, I don't think you need assets at this point. He goes, yes, I do. And he started giving me the speech of, imagine if I had bought X of this, or you had done that. What if you had bought Apple at my age, blah, blah, blah. Where would you be? And so he kind of gave us a hard time. Long story short, we've let him start buying some stocks on his own. He started a little account. He started buying. But I have recently had to play counselor because he said, listen, I don't understand. NVIDIA just beat earnings. They were above earnings. They did better than Wall Street expected. Why were the shares down $5.29 each after closing? What's happening? I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm playing counselor to an 18-year-old over 2 shares of NVIDIA stock. So when you said that, I kind of got a great laugh that, yeah, you do have to play that role of, hey, here are the trends over a 5-year time frame, a 10-year time frame, a 20-year time frame. Wealth is quit watching movies. The wealth is really attained over time. It's having the right balance, the right diversity to your portfolio, the patience, the understanding, the ability to adapt. I really appreciate that you said you have to play counselor, because I can see, I had worked in politics during, 07, 08, and I dealt with really rich people that they felt like they were so poor. And in my head, I was like, what do you mean they're poor? Like, that guy's worth $25 million. And I was reminded, yeah, but last year it was 50 million. So he feels like he's lost everything. Do you have to work and train your professionals on how to deal with their clients and how to deal kind of with that psychological piece in the psyche?
Not really, actually, because it comes so natural to us, and you're in it long enough. So we have seasoned professionals who've been through all of that, and you learn, and it's trial and error. At the end of the day, there is no specific formula as to how to handle it, because every person is different. As a matter of fact, it reminds me one of my colleagues. When we had that drop in the market about 3 weeks ago or so, when the market dropped almost 10%, he gets on the phone and starts calling everybody and saying, hey, it goes through it. And you've got some clients who says, whoa, I didn't even know that happened. They start freaking out. We always still have to go backwards and say, I just want to let you know everything is under control. And you have half of the clients, because they're used to it, they're laughing at this point. It goes, I'm so comfortable with this. You don't have to worry about it. I do love the fact that your boy is actually looking into it at the age of 17, because you know what? Over time, that's how you build wealth. So I'm glad that he's asking about getting some assets in, because that's awesome. But yeah, we have conversations, and because we build these relationships over an extended period of time, because we have those relationships, we don't have to go in there. We can be transparent, we can be congruent with who we are, and just explain the situation, and we put people's minds at ease. And again, we focus on the long-term goals, and that's all that matters.
So we're going to take a quick break, folks. When we come back, we're going to learn more about TriStar and how they're active in our regional economy.
This is Sonia with Feges Interiors, and I'm here to invite you to check out our recently renovated window treatment gallery. Along with custom draperies and top treatments, we now offer a range of America's most popular brands of blinds and shades like Hunter Douglas. We have an array of smart home compatible, energy efficient designs that are available at everyday low pricing. We can even cover those odd shaped windows with style. For over 24 years, I've helped my clients create custom one-of-a-kind window treatments, and now I'm able to offer complete room design with Feges Interiors. Visit our website to schedule your complimentary consultation and enjoy 50% off professional installation. Or visit our ever-changing showroom at Feges Interiors, 4946 Burl Drive in Saginaw.
Feges Interiors. Stop in and experience for yourself the quality, value, and excellent service that can only come from Feges Interiors.
It's that time again. Time to get our Medicare plans figured out for next year.
The onslaught of TV commercials, phone calls, the piles of direct mail. I just want a person here locally I can look in the eye, that I can trust to help me.
Independent agent Tim Zackley with Secure Asset Insurance in Bay City can help. They specialize in Medicare supplements, Medigap, Medicare Advantage, prescription drug plans, hospital indemnity policies, and life insurance. Get insurance that's exactly the way it should be. Visit them at senior-protector.com.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
I'm Susan Lee, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened higher following a fresh reading on inflation that showed little change but does not conflict with the Federal Reserve's plans to lower interest rates in September. The PCE price index held steady at 2.5% in the year ending in July. Core PCE, excluding food and energy, rose 2.6%. Intel shares opened 5% higher. There are reports that Intel is looking into options for its business that could include a merger or splitting its chip business from its manufacturing. Ulta Beauty's quarter was disappointing. The company says competition for value remains high. Ulta shares opened down 6.5%. It is Warren Buffett's birthday. He is 94. Earlier this week, his Berkshire Hathaway rose to a $1 trillion market value. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda, invested in you.
In theaters now, Reagan returns to office.
We are the greatest country in the world. We have just forgotten.
You can run from a bully for so long, but after a while, you're going to have to stand up to him. I am about to start the biggest war of this century.
You told me you wanted to make a difference in this world.
What would you have me do?
I want you to fight!
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Reagan in theaters now. Rated PG-13. May not be suitable for children under 13.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Michigan football is back on WSGW.
Your team is the #1 team in America. It is intercepted. Mikey St. Bristol going the other way. 20, 25, 30. Mikey St. Bristol to the 40, to the 50. Mikey St. Bristol down the field. Inside the 20. Gets back inside at the 10. And he's dragged down at the Washington 6-yard.
The defending national champions have a new coach, but the same Michigan tradition.
JJ under center. Handoff play. Corm up the middle. Touchdown. Wolverines find the left side of the offensive line. And Michigan extends the lead to 33-13. Michigan completes a 15-0 national championship season.
The season kicks off Saturday, August 31st, when the Wolverines host the Fresno State Bulldogs at the Big House. Game day coverage, 6:30 p.m. on 100.5 FM.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. The Art Lewis Show is sponsored by Westside Decorating Center. Visit them at 5789 State Street in Saginaw or online at westsidedecoratingcenter.com. So I'm joined this morning by Pavel and Kristen from TriStar. And you know, folks, that first segment, we talked to Pavel the entire time. And you know what? We're going to take a break from Pavel because Kristen's been getting a free ride here. And she's been sitting here and enjoying the show. We're going to put her to work and see how that Director of Marketing and Communications title goes. So the question I have to ask you, and I have noticed it in a lot of the work that you do, our organization has a mental health arm. We've definitely seen it. TriStar cares deeply about this community. So as you guys have grown over the course of the last 20 plus years, so is your growth in giving back to the local community and really being a phenomenal regional partner. Can you talk about, you know, what that looks like? Because it is a really detailed and robust program, and why you guys make this such a massive priority for TriStar.
Sure. The short answer is to take care of the communities where we serve. The much deeper answer is that we don't want to just serve, we also want to get involved. So we have volunteered time off that each employee gets, and we have 16 hours a year that everybody can give. No questions asked, 2 days free to go and and give back so that people can give back where their hearts are. And then as an organization, we've decided that we want to strengthen families, transform our communities, and bolster up organizations that already exist. So we've been giving, and the bigger we get, the more we give. And one of those pieces of that is our foundation starting to shine a light on a cause with the hope of bringing people together, as in sponsors and individuals and even clients, to pick a handful of organizations to shine a light on them so that then we can bolster up a project that they're working on, a project that they're getting coming back after COVID, an initiative that's just getting started, something that's going to really impact their work. And we go to work and support them and make a really big deal about it and make them feel the love, because those nonprofits, they do a lot for not a lot of pay sometimes, but the work that they're doing is transformative.
So, Kristen, there's two ways an organization can choose to support a great cause. There's kind of a proactive means of what does the organization itself care about and what are the things that tie in. And then there's kind of the reactive, hey, these groups have come to us from the community and saying, hey, we need your support. How do you balance kind of the proactive approach of, hey, here's what we care about and here's our foundations and here are what we believe in, or here's what our leaders care about and what they get involved in. And then there's that side where you get asked for help. How are you guys, walking kind of that tightrope as an organization?
That's a good question. There are some organizations that we do support almost like clockwork annually, right? To help them make sure that they can have the causes and the work that they're doing be sustainable. So there are some kind of locked and loaded ones, if you will. But that balancing it to shine the light, that's what happens, is every single year picking a different cause to shine the light on. So you had singled out mental health in your conversation earlier. Mental health in 2022, getting together a handful of organizations throughout the communities that we serve and giving away $175,000. That's in addition to our normal giving, which is pushing $100,000 a year. And then in 2023, community revitalization, again, picking those handful of organizations that have projects going on with building handicap accessible playgrounds, baseball diamond in the middle of inner city Lansing, to plant trees, to do all these things where they have a project where it's going to be more of a one-time feel. And then this year with shining the light on kids. And so bringing back parenting classes that went by the wayside because preventative care kind of went away when we had to take care of a pandemic. But we balance that by trying to help not only us shine a light on that, but hopefully bring the cause to light for other individuals that might want to support.
Yeah, so there's just no question that you guys are everywhere. If I'm out in the region and I'm somewhere, here comes Pavel, here comes Anthony, here comes the leadership of the organization. So Pavel, why for you as the leader of TriStar and working kind of with your leadership team, you've made a very intentional effort to be out in the community and to lead and to be at the table and to give back and to volunteer hours in a world where, it's cutthroat. This is wealth, right? You have to show results. How as a leader do you balance that with your executive team?
I look at TriStar as being a community asset. We certainly have our board of directors. We certainly have investors. We certainly have expectations as far as, growth, profitability, all of those things that need to be in place. But we have an incredible board of directors, an incredibly supportive board of directors who looks at TriStar as a community asset. It gives us the ability to give back to the communities where we live, play, and work, and they understand it. They understand that we, as an organization, we are needed. As Kristen mentioned, you've got these non-for-profits with these fantastic people who are running and making a huge difference in people's lives. But money's always a problem, right? And why be on the board of a non-for-profit? Because we have certain talent. We're educated, we've got talents, and we're lending our talents to help these organizations be effective and efficient in providing those services. And let's face it, we live here, right? And so we want everybody to be well off. We want everybody to be happy. We want the community to thrive, to grow, to bring people in, to clean things up, to make it prettier, nicer, you name it. And we want to do that, and it's important to us, because if we don't, who else will? And there's plenty of other people who are helping. And when you build these relationships around the communities where we are, then all of a sudden the collective effort is then lifting. And to what Kristen said, our higher purpose has to do with strengthening families and elevating communities. And we can't do it alone. We have to do it with other people. So by building those relationships and bringing all these people in, we do a lot of good things. And I have to say, it's not bad for business either, because when you start we have people who are very much engaged, and when they see what we do and they understand why we're doing it and they trust us with their monies, it is also good for business.
I'm glad you said that, because you guys have a secret weapon at your disposal, and that it's just not you as an entity, as TriStar, that are supporting the community, but because you are a trust and it's wealth management, you have a lot of your clients that are incredibly generous donors across this region, giving to projects. And these are, at the level that I would use the word transformational dollars that are spent. And I think you often are working alongside them, giving guidance. Jack Kidwell comes to mind. He's an expert in this space, and he's always working with your clients to find, okay, how can we make the greatest impact in community? That comes with a whole nother level of responsibility, doesn't it?
Yes, sure does. I'm glad you brought Jack up, because I asked Jack the other day. I was like, Jack, how much longer are you going to be working? And he goes, I don't intend to retire anytime soon. And I said, well, how come? He goes, I love this job. And I said, well, elaborate. And he says, I'm never going to get to a point of wealth where I can make transformational difference. But as an advisor to our clients who do have the wealth, who want to make that difference and to play a role, because I'm here in the community, I'm dealing with the non-for-profits, I see all of the projects and things that are taking place in our communities, and then he can facilitate the support from our clients. I think it's just, he said, I love it, and I'm going to do it as long as you let me.
That's fantastic. We have a guy here at WSGW. I think his name's Art Lewis, if anyone's familiar. Kind of similar. People often say to me, oh, is Art going to retire? And I just start laughing hysterically. I go, why would Art retire? He loves his job. He loves his station. You know what? He's not bad. He's getting better every day. He's slowly learning, picking it up.
Skills.
He's the master. I mean, it's the same thing. And I love that, that we have the Jacks and the Arts of the world, and we kind of have their guidance. We were teasing yesterday talking about Amigo, that we need to get Altimi in to do an interview with Art. And we said it jokingly, but we mean it seriously. The two of them have 170 years of experience on this earth. I think that's going to be a heck of a conversation. So it's great to hear about Jack and Art. Dear Lord, I hope you're not listening and that you are vacationing. But if you are, you definitely fall into that category, our friend. We know that you are not retiring anytime soon because you love your job. So we're going to take another break, and when we come back, we're going to learn more about TriStar Trust.
Lehman's Green Apple Barn is celebrating their 39th annual Apple Country Craft Show Saturday and Sunday, September 7th and 8th from 10 to 4. Over 60 local vendors will be featuring handmade items. You'll find crafters from woodworking, photography, sewing, doll clothes, holiday and garden decor, fresh baked goods, warm donuts, freshly pressed apple cider, kettle corn, food trucks, and more. Admission is free. Check out greenapplebarn.com or visit on Facebook. Stop out to Lehman's Green Apple Barn Saturday, September 7th and Sunday, September 8th from 10 to 4.
Ready to save big at the pump? Look no further than Fuel Rewards at one of our Forward Shell convenience stores. Save 25 cents per gallon when you buy 2 18-ounce Karma Energy or probiotic water for $5. Get 10 cents per gallon off when you buy any 2 12-ounce Bubbly or Celsius sparkling waters to keep you refreshed while traveling. Ask us about Stack and Save with Fuel Rewards. Fuel Rewards at your local Forward Shell convenience stores. Your family-owned Michigan tradition since 1925.
I'm a Skyrider, and the Michigan Lottery hired me to tell everyone about their huge $50 instant game, $300 million extraordinaire. It has over $300 million in total prizes, top instant prizes of $6 million, and 20-second chance prizes of $100,000. But the game's so big, I ran out of Sky. So fly to your favorite store for new $300 million extraordinaire, only from the Michigan Lottery.
Knowing your limits is always the best bet. Hey, Michigan, let's think beyond the sink.
and learn where the water your family drinks every day comes from. Private wells and public water supplies allow homes across Michigan to draw water from different sources, like lakes, rivers, and groundwater. Tap into the facts about your home's water source and learn about your home's water quality to protect your family's health. Visit michigan.gov/care for MI drinking water. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text SERVE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text SERVE to 42424. That's SERVE to 42424.
Let's face it, nothing makes you look older than you really are than thinning hair. But what if you could not only increase your hair count, but promote new hair growth without surgery, without drugs with potential side effects, and without a prescription from your doctor? Well, now you can, thanks to a breakthrough new supplement called Hair Grow, provided by New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Europe. Hair Grow is now available in the US. Only Hair Grow contains tocopherol, a powerful antioxidant that has received a US patent. Multiple clinical studies show Hair Grow is safe and effective in promoting new hair growth. In one study, 95% of the patients using Hair Grow saw increased hair count. Don't lose more time and more hair. Try Hair Grow today to feel and look your best. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com, or in stores at your local CVS. Look younger and feel more confident with Hair Grow by New Nordic at NewNordicUSA.com, or in stores at your local CVS.
You are with WSGW in the Stormmaster Exterior Studios. And you are listening to WSGW Online, presented by Stormmaster Exteriors.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. It's Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance. And as always, having fun talking about regionalism and regional companies and regional entities. And today I actually get to have a little bit more fun because I'm a little bit of a market junkie. I love the stock market. I love the U.S. economy. I love talking about it. I love talking about policy and elections and all those good things without getting too political, Pavel. Does an election season or an election year like this impact the market, impact investors, kind of what's going on? Because you see, there's so many different features, whether, you have the market itself. And I read an interesting piece recently in the Wall Street Journal that said, listen, for those people that have a good paying job, that invest and own a home, they're feeling okay right now. But if you don't have a job that pays exceptionally well and you're not in a position to invest and you're a renter with inflation, you do not feel good. So it can feel like two different worlds. And then you hear jobs reports and what's the Fed going to do with interest rates? And I think Chairman Powell recently indicated that, hey, inflation has slowed. Although I got to be honest, in talking to the everyday person that's in Kroger, they're not saying the same thing. But the Fed is saying that inflation is slowing and that they're going to look at some rate cuts, which is great because auto sales, ATV, boats, campers, some of those sales are down with those very high interest rates. Pavel, the broad question, what is the impact, first of all, of an election year on the markets and the economy as you see it?
Boy, you put a lot there, Matt. There was a lot of questions in one question. So as far as the elections are concerned, the elections actually have very little impact on the markets. And we've studied all the elections back 100 years and what the impact is on the market. And it really doesn't matter who's in the office, who's running the Congress. It really doesn't matter. Where we've looked at every which a scenario and combination, whether it's Republican, Democrat, but ultimately the markets and the U.S. economy is extremely resilient, and it gets through pretty much anything. What's interesting, and people ask me all the time, said, well, if Harris wins, if Trump wins, what's it going to do with the market? Ultimately, what happens with the market about when it gets closer to the election and after election, the markets actually typically increase. And here's the reason why. We can have a conversation about the economy and the politics all day long, but ultimately it's about knowing the rules of the game. And I'm originally from Czech Republic, and I've never ceased to amaze me how resilient and how adventurous, that's probably not the right term, but how resilient the U.S. consumer is, and the U.S. businessman and businesswoman, and how resilient they are, and how adaptive they are to every single situation. They just need to know what the rules are. So as you get closer to re-election and you start to get sense it's which direction this is going to go, then people saying, okay, in order for me to continue to do well for my family, this is what I'm going to have to do. After election, the certainty of knowing who is in the White House, who is in the Congress, knowing that gives you even more information to know how to play the game. So there's really not a strong correlation between Democrat or Republican and the market. The market just does pretty well during the election. Now, I will tell you this: I was a little surprised as to how the market has done up to this point, because it's stronger than I expected. Typically, it just kind of goes sideways, and as we get closer towards November, it starts increasing. But overall, the markets are very resilient, and the U.S. economy is very resilient. And I don't want to be flippant because everybody likes to have that conversation, but I just look at it pragmatically, and I look at it as I just want to take care of our clients, and I know we're going to be okay. The one thing I did want to mention, I want to overstay my welcome here, but you talk about inflation, and you're absolutely right, because people are talking about inflation coming down, and there's somewhat of a misnomer in there, because when the inflation numbers come in at 2.7, that's year over year. I don't know if you remember, in 2022, our inflation in June was 9.1%. And so now you're going from an elevated level. It's just not the pace of inflation slowing down. The inflation itself, prices are still elevated. And yes, in a certain instance, the wage growth wasn't necessarily there. But the overall economy is actually doing well. Unemployment is low. Yeah, it's a little tight for some. Yes, it is, but at least you got a job and you're gonna get that paycheck, and things are continue to improve.
You know what I love that you kind of summarized in there? The U.S. economy is so resilient that it can overcome politics and politicians. That's what I heard, which I don't know for anyone else. I'm kind of at that point in life. I don't know. I'm approaching 50, and maybe I'm just turning into a grumpy old man. That I'm thankful that anything can overcome politics and politicians. But your point is well taken. The economy is way beyond any single political party, any 2-year congressional stint. The economy, U.S. economy, is a behemoth, and it is resilient, and it's going to power on. So we could do this all day long, and we're just scratching the surface. But we have to take a commercial break before Jonathan throws anything at me. But we will be back with Pavel and Kristen from TriStar.
Jim Wilson, it looks like the whole town is gathered at Wilson Ford Lincoln right now. You certainly know how to draw a crowd. What's going on?
Wilson Ford Lincoln on Bay Road is celebrating back-to-school season with a soon-to-be famous back-to-school savings and Saginaw event. Once a year, Wilson Ford Lincoln is going to offer special savings and discounts on almost everything in the store.
So all of the cars and trucks are on sale?
Sure, all the cars and trucks, but I mean everything. Prices are slashed on all our pre-owned vehicles. Maintenance, repair, and collision center specials could save you thousands. We're even reducing prices on acres of certified pre-owned Lincoln vehicles. This is the one opportunity to buy a world-class luxury vehicle drastically below market prices.
You'll love the back-to-school savings, the friendly staff, and the opportunity to save on all of your automotive needs. Going on now exclusively at Wilson Ford Lincoln in Saginaw or at wilsonfordsaginaw.com.
Because we think you'll like that.
The legendary Oak Ridge Boys. My baby is American. Saturday, November 23rd at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. The Oak Ridge Boys, the Hits and Holidays Farewell Tour. Tickets as low as $32 on sale Saturday, August 31st at the box office at etix.com.
I sure do like those Christmas.
Love it live, one last time. The Oak Ridge Boys. The Hits and Holidays Farewell Tour, November 23rd at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. SoaringEagleCasino.com.
When it comes to my lifestyle and diet, I don't always make the smartest choices.
Touchdown! Woo! Hey, how about another round and some more chips?
But when it comes to taking care of my liver, I do make one very smart choice. Active liver tablets from New Nordic. I used to have real issues with my liver, and at my last checkup, my doc was concerned about my numbers. But since adding a once-a-day active liver tablet, my gut's better, I feel great, and my doctor's happy. I ask a lot of my liver, so the least I can do to say thanks is a daily dose of Active Liver.
You ask a lot of your liver, so give it the support it needs with Active Liver. You can find Active Liver at Amazon.com or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS. Or for a volume discount, visit NewNordicUSA.com. Go to new, NORDICUSA.com, Amazon, or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by right now. They'll tell you if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-750-2700. That's 800-750-2700. Call now to find out how much your case could be worth.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
I'd rather ride a bike with my kids.
Faster!
I'd rather play catch with my dog than catch pneumococcal pneumonia.
Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20 pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. If you are 19 or older with certain chronic conditions like heart disease or asthma, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'd rather race for some ice cream. Let's go.
Schedule your vaccination today at Prevnar20.com.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, joined today by Pavel Konecny, the president and CEO, and Kristen Wuerfel, the director of marketing and communications at TriStar. So, Kristen, question for you. You know, we talked about individual wealth management, but does TriStar do wealth management beyond that in terms of maybe a company and its 401ks, a nonprofit, a local church? Do you guys have that customer base as well?
We do. It's individual businesses and nonprofits. So we go into over 100 businesses, educate their employees about their 401k, manage their dollars for them, make sure they're allocated properly for what they're comfortable with. And that totals up to over 6,000 employees in that arm of the business. And then nonprofit wise, we love helping them manage their money when they're showing up for their church board meeting that they're already volunteering for. Isn't it great to have a financial partner sitting right there saying, and this is what's happening in the markets with your endowment or your investments and all of that. So truly a partner in all of that, and along with helping out the individuals.
So for our listeners that are listening today, have to ask this question. If they want to contact someone, whether they're the nonprofit director that's listening right now, a board member in an organization, just Bob, driving down the road that says, you know what, I need help with wealth management. And they want to contact you. What do they do? Who do they contact? Do they go online? Do they call? How do they start that process of working with TriStar?
You give us a call or check us out on the website. But if you give us a call, we would be happy to get you to the proper person once they know if you're asking for a business, an individual, or a nonprofit. And we take it from there. And it all starts with a conversation.
And, I think in today's world, people love relationships.
Yeah.
They want a personal touch. They want to know their person. They just don't want to be a number. How do you guys, with 61 employees, you're clearly not that kind of an organization where, a client is just one of a million. How do you really make sure that you have that personal relationship with your clients, with your organizations. How do you do that? Why is it important? So the person that is driving down the road goes, well, am I going to be important to them, or am I just, another person and I'm not important? How do you guys make that distinction?
We're extremely deliberate as to the number of relationships our relationship managers have. A deliberate meaning that we limit the number of relationships, so that way we can have the appropriate level of relationship with our clients, meaning that we can touch them multiple times during the year and that we can pay attention to them, because if you have too many, something always slips through the cracks, and we're very deliberate about making sure that it doesn't happen.
And that's great. And that's why you've had your growth in terms of employees, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So, Pavel, I have to ask, our listeners may have noticed that you don't sound like a standard guy from Michigan, that there may be a slight accent. And you said that you are from the Czech Republic. How long have you been here in the U.S.?
I have been here 32 years now. Came here when I was 18. And as nerve-wracking as this is, considering that English is my second language, and I didn't speak any when I got here, it's been a while since I've been here, so I'm still working on it.
Pavel, I think you're great. Your English is better than just a lot of people I just know that are born, bred, and raised here. So I give you all the credit in the world.
Thank you.
Follow-up question, though. You're from the Czech Republic, but I've noticed recently during the Olympics, they don't refer to it really as the Czech Republic anymore. It's kind of turned to Czechia. Why is that? What was that change?
I actually don't know. It caught me a little bit by surprise when I left the country. It was still Czechoslovakia. It's split between Slovakia and Czech Republic, and a peaceful split. And it's been a Czech Republic forever and a day. And now it changed it to Czechia. And I started thinking about why. And then I realized there's really not something republic or in Europe. You've got Czechia, Slovakia, Italy, France. It's just one word. So that's the reason why I think.
Interesting. The same thing happened to me. I grew up here. And one day I was living in Virginia and came back and I was like, what's the Great Lakes Bay region?
Yeah.
It happens, right? It totally happens.
And whatever happened to Tri-Cities?
Yeah, it happens. No. Hey, it was great having both of you guys on. Appreciate your time today. Thank you for all you do here in the Great Lakes Bay region. Have a great holiday weekend. And we'll look at having you on the show with Art, the master, at some point in the future.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having us.
This Labor Day, Art Noe Appliance is bringing you incredible savings. Ready to upgrade your kitchen or laundry room? We have laundry pairs starting at just $10.99, dishwashers from $5.29, and complete kitchen suites beginning at $24.99. Choose from top brands like KitchenAid, GE, Whirlpool, Maytag, Frigidaire, Cafe, Bosch, and more. Plus, with Art's exclusive warranty, you'll get an extra year of protection on selected models at no additional cost. All of this right through our parts and service department. Need to stretch your budget even further? Visit our outlet store for unbelievable deals backed by manufacturer warranties. And for a limited time, we're paying your sales tax only at the outlet. Don't miss the Art Noe Appliance Labor Day sale. Visit us in Saginaw, Frankenmuth, and the outlet in Shields. Celebrate your hard work with incredible savings and experience the difference at Art Noe Appliance, where quality, service, and unbeatable prices come together.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I have a serious heart condition called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, or HCM. Some symptoms include being short of breath, feeling tired, or having dizziness or chest pain. I still had symptoms on my beta blocker, so I asked my cardiologist about any treatment advances. It was a breakthrough for me. That's why I'm working with Bristol Myers Squibb to raise awareness about HCM and to help others like me. Talk to your cardiologist today and visit hcmrealtalk.com for more information.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb.
This is the famous footwear that makes us actually want to go back to school with the newest styles from all your favorite brands like Nike, Adidas, Crocs, Converse, New Balance, Birkenstock, and more. You'll find everything kids want, all at prices parents can appreciate, because you don't have to overspend to make it famous. Famous Footwear even has fit experts in store to make sure you get the right size every time. So for the perfect fit, make it famous. Plus, right now, buy one, get one half off when you shop your local Famous Footwear or famous.com. Some exclusions apply.
That wraps up this edition of the Art Lewis Show. Want to thank my guests, Mike Gavin from Delta, George Grant from SVSU, Pavel Konecny with TriStar, and Kristen Wuerfel with TriStar. Up next is Focus, where we're going to hear from Shannon Forshee with Camp Fishtails, talking about their fish race fundraiser. But first, the news.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios. WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland. WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. While millions of Americans crowd the airports ahead of the holiday, driving is a lot less painful. Jim Krasula's been talking to folks in Virginia.
Motorists this holiday weekend are enjoying a break at the gas pump.
I'm thrilled.
A lot better.
It means I put more money away in the bank.
I don't know how long it's going to go down and keep going down, but I'm going to get it while I can.
The national average for a gallon of regular unleaded gas is $3.44. That's down more than 40 cents a gallon from a year ago. Jim Krasula, CBS News, Danville, Virginia.
Yesterday was a big day on the campaign trail with Kamala Harris sitting down for her first interview on CNN, where she was asked about the war in Gaza and efforts to bring it to an end.
I've met with the families of the American hostages. Let's get the hostages out. Let's get the ceasefire done.
But no change in policy in terms of arms and so forth.
No, we have to get a deal done.
Donald Trump said if he wins a second term, he'd make IVF treatment free for women. Either the government would pay, he said, or it would be mandatory for insurance companies to foot the bill. CBS's Ed O'Keefe is looking at the latest polls.
Look at that growing gender gap. 56% support among women for Harris, 44% for Trump. He's essentially saying to them, don't leave me. We realize that this has become a concern for families across the country. So by now saying essentially a Republican president would support paying for all, that's taking essentially a Democratic position.
NHL player Johnny Gaudreau of the Columbus Blue Jackets has been killed in a bike accident along with his brother in New Jersey.
Johnny Gaudreau all the way around. Gaudreau shoots, scores! A beauty by Johnny Gaudreau.
He participated in the NHL All-Star Game 7 times. There has been record-setting humidity along with the heat this summer, and many are feeling it, including this window installer in North Carolina in drenched clothing.
That's the sweat. By the end of the day, it'll be to the bottom of my drawers.
A new study finds the increased humidity could also lead to an uptick in foodborne illnesses because it's easier for salmonella bacteria to thrive on plants. Next time you get a doctor or hospital bill that contains some surprises, be sure to speak up. Deborah Rodriguez reports.
A new study from the University of Southern California finds about 1 in 5 people have gotten a medical bill recently that they disagreed with or couldn't afford. Among them, more than 61% say they reached out to billing offices to try to have them rectified or work out a payment plan. USC's research shows the bulk of people who complained got some relief.
Russia has sentenced a newspaper publisher in Siberia to 8 years in prison after the paper reported on Russia's attacks on civilians in Ukraine. On Wall Street, the Dow is higher. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is Sonia with Phages Interiors, and I'm here to invite you to check out our recently renovated window treatment gallery. Along with custom draperies and top treatments, we now offer a range of America's most popular brands of blinds and shades like Hunter Douglas. We have an array of smart home compatible, energy efficient designs that are available at everyday low pricing. We can even cover those odd shaped windows with style. For over 24 years, I've helped my clients create custom, one-of-a-kind window treatments, and now I'm able to offer complete room design with Phages Interiors. Visit our website to schedule your complimentary consultation and enjoy 50% off professional installation. Or visit our ever-changing showroom at Phages Interiors, 4946 Burl Drive in Saginaw.
Phages Interiors. Stop in and experience for yourself the quality, value, and excellent service that can only come from Phages Interiors. While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a RoofMax shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money. Guaranteed with RoofMax, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
The Motown sound meets Philly soul. Friday, October 11th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. The Temptations and the Spinners. Tickets as low as $62 and are on sale now at the Soaring Eagle box office and etix.com. One stage, one night only. Friday, October 11th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. The Temptations and the Spinners. More at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 78 degrees at 11:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. A pedestrian was struck and killed in a crash in Saginaw yesterday. Police say a 33-year-old man was in the area of North 5th Street and Wadsworth Road around 9:10 a.m. when he was struck. Police initially responded to the area after receiving reports of shots fired, and while witnesses on the scene told police they heard gunfire, there were no injuries related to it. The pedestrian was pronounced dead at the scene. Police say the driver of the vehicle is cooperating in the investigation and no arrests have been made. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer has appointed a local police chief to the Michigan Intelligence Operations Center for Homeland Security. Saginaw Township Police Chief Scott Mallis has been chief since 2022 and has been with the department for more than 30 years. Prior to his career in law enforcement, he served in the United States Army in both active duty and reserve roles. The advisory board collects, evaluates, collates, and analyzes information and intelligence, and then, as appropriate, disseminates the information and intelligence to the proper public safety agencies so any threat of terrorism or criminal activity will be successfully identified and addressed. Mallis holds an associate's degree in criminal justice from Delta College and a Bachelor of Science in criminal justice from Ferris State. Mallis is appointed to represent local police departments in the state for a term starting on August 29th and expiring April 11th, 2028. The second annual Back on the Block celebration takes place September 6th from 4 to 7 p.m. at Garber High School in Essexville. The event, expected to draw 2,000 to 3,000 people, will feature more than 20 local organizations, free haircuts, giveaways, and more. Attendees can also enjoy free swimming at the Garber Pool. All Essexville Hampton Public School students will receive free admission to the first home football game at 7 p.m. For more information, contact Essexville Hampton Public Schools. WSGW News, time 11:07.
Jim Wilson, it looks like the whole town is gathered at Wilson Ford Lincoln right now. You certainly know how to draw a crowd. What's going on?
Wilson Ford Lincoln on Bay Road is celebrating back-to-school season with a soon-to-be famous back-to-school savings and Saginaw event. Once a year, Wilson Ford Lincoln is going to offer special savings and discounts on almost everything in the store.
So all of the cars and trucks are on sale?
Sure, all the cars and trucks, but I mean everything. Prices are slashed on all our pre-owned vehicles. Maintenance, repair, and collision center specials could save you thousands. We're even reducing prices on acres of certified pre-owned Lincoln vehicles. This is the one opportunity to buy a world-class luxury vehicle drastically below market prices.
You'll love the back-to-school savings, the friendly staff, and the opportunity to save on all of your automotive needs. Going on now exclusively at Wilson Ford Lincoln in Saginaw or at wilsonfordsaginaw.com.
Because we think you'll like that.
WSGW News time 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. A Detroit car company is joining the list of growing brands ditching DEI policies. Ford announced this week it was withdrawing from the Human Rights Campaign's Corporate Equality Index as pressure from conservative activists continues to mount. The car manufacturer now joins Lowe's, John Deere, Tractor Supply, the owner of Harley-Davidson and Jack Daniels, according to reports from CNBC. Ford CEO Jim Farley told workers in an internal letter posted on social media the company would be withdrawing from the index and would not participate in other best places to work lists. One of Metro Detroit's favorite Labor Day traditions was almost interrupted because of power outages. Rob Krieger, president of the Romeo Peach Festival, says they just got back power Thursday. They had to bring in generators to keep peaches fresh, and he says they have a good crop this year.
It's been a really good season. I mean, it's rained every other day this summer, and then it's hot. So I've had some sweet corn from the area, and it's been fantastic, and some of the other vegetables. So I'm assuming the fruit is really good.
Today is the first day of the Peach Festival, which runs through Labor Day. Despite the outage, Krieger expects near-record crowds. A guilty verdict has been delivered for a man involved in a deadly shooting that stemmed from a dispute over spitting in a sink. The Oakland County Prosecutor's Office says Sadari Donaldson was found guilty of second-degree murder yesterday. Investigators say Donaldson and Dewan Benyon were kicked out of a party after Donaldson spit in the sink at the victim's Pontiac apartment. Both men returned and got into a fight with 33-year-old Cornelius Jones before Donaldson pulled out a gun and shot him twice. He faces up to life in prison when he's sentenced in October. Benyon pleaded guilty to an assault charge and was sentenced to a year in jail. WSGW News Time 11:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms here for today with partial sunshine developing and a high in the mid-80s. Winds out of the southeast around 5 to 10 miles per hour, gusting as high as 20. Then for tonight, a chance for showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy and a low near 63. Saturday, sunshine, a high of 84 degrees. Then by Sunday, plenty of blue skies and sun. We'll see a high around 77. Labor Day Monday, sunshine, high of 73. Then by Tuesday, mostly sunny skies, a high around 77. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 75.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com. Focus is presented by RoofMax. That's RoofMax with 2 X's.
Good morning and welcome to the Focus program and happy Friday, everyone. It's Matt Felan at the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, and I am filling in for Art here the vast majority of the week here on Focus. And as you hear the lead-in, sometimes people always ask me, Matt, what is the Focus program for? And you hear it in the lead-in. It's the people, the places, the activities, the community. And this morning, we have one of my favorites. We are joined by Shannon Forshee, the Executive Director of Camp Fishtails. Good morning, Shannon.
Good morning, Matt.
So for our
Thanks
listeners,
for having me today.
Absolutely. We'll do this all the time, Shannon. So for our listeners, let's start here. What is Camp Fishtails?
Camp Fishtails is a nonprofit in Northern Bay County, and we're an outdoor barrier-free camp that serves campers of all ages and all disabilities. We have anywhere from a 7-year-old to a 90-year-old come to camp. It is a summer camp, but it is also a weekend camp in the off season.
So Shannon, for those that haven't been to Camp Fishtails, can you talk specifically just where you're located and then just what is all there on the property? Because you have a lot of land and water and buildings. Talk about what your facilities look like in your property.
So we are on 67 wooded acres in Northern Bay County. We have about a 3-acre pond where the campers love fishing, hence the name Camp Fishtails. They love fishing. They love boating. We have paddle boards. We have kayaks. We have a pontoon boat that we take out. We also have a rock wall on the property, and the campers love climbing that. It's absolutely heartwarming to see someone who may not be able to have use of their arms nor their legs be able to get to the top of the rock wall with the accommodations that we provide. We have all sorts of team sports. Of course, we do talent shows, outdoor bonfires, singing, skits, arts and crafts. We have, last May, we did a ribbon cutting for our adaptive greenhouse. We used that all summer long in our programming, and that was amazing. We are definitely a bridge to help our campers do things that everyone else does. So,
Shannon, I am more familiar with Camp Fishtails because my coworker Tara and her family are stalwart volunteers there. And one of my favorite things is I know every Tuesday in the summer, Tara Martin and her kids are going to have pictures of their kids helping your campers fish, and you just see the smiles on those faces. It's nothing short of pure joy. How can people volunteer their time to be a part and to kind of share their love of fishing or nature or other things, how can people volunteer and come out and be a part of Camp Fishtails?
Yeah, I always say we're a small but mighty nonprofit. We are so thankful for all of our volunteers, and you can go to www.campfishtails.org. Tales is like the story, TALES, and there's a volunteer form on there. You can also call the office. You can stop in. So there are so many things, from doing activities with the campers to landscaping. If you have a special talent, musical talent, we have All Music is Power that comes in during the summer, and they do concerts for us. So many people bring their talents to camp, and that is how we make our programming so special.
I'm so glad you said that, because I even know my good friend Jeff is an engineer and at Dow, works in research. He's phenomenal in building everything. And I know he spent some time up there working on decks, working on construction. Literally, people, if you have a talent, you may be surprised that Camp Fishtails can use your help. Don't you find that to always be the case, Shannon?
Definitely. We can use everybody. Yep. Boy Scouts, Eagle Scouts will come in. They'll do their projects for us. Church groups, banks. We have so many different people that come through our doors that provide us with so many things that we need that wouldn't get done if it wouldn't be for them. They get things done in 2 hours that it would take our small staff, weeks to do. So,
well, we're going to take a quick break.
Volunteers.
And we're going to talk about the next thing you always need, which is dollars. And let's talk about the phenomenal fish race event coming up after these messages.
Lehman's Green Apple Barn is celebrating their 39th annual Apple Country Craft Show Saturday and Sunday, September 7th and 8th from 10 to 4. Over 60 local vendors will be featuring handmade items. You'll find crafters from woodworking, photography, sewing, doll clothes, holiday and garden decor, fresh baked goods, warm donuts, freshly pressed apple cider, kettle corn, food trucks, and more. Admission is free. Check out greenapplebarn.com or visit on Facebook. Stop out to Lehman's Green Apple Barn Saturday, September 7th and Sunday, September 8th from 10 to 4.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Hey, let's take a break really quick. Jonathan Dent here. Believe it or not, festival season has not ended, and we're going to check in with Terry Henney right now. He's out at the Michigan Bean Festival, if I'm not mistaken. Terry, are you there? I'm here. How are things going out there? All right, Terry, we'll look forward to that. You have a good time out there. We'll be right back with more Focus after this.
This is Christiana Malagato, your host of That's What She Said. This week, we spill the tea with one of the most driven people making things happen in the Great Lakes Bay region, Cherie Long. Tune in as she shares her story about grit, community involvement, and building a village all of your own.
That's What She Said with Christiana Malakata. Sunday evenings at 6 on WSGW, 790 AM and 100.5 FM, and online at WSGW.com.
Broadcasting online, courtesy Stormmaster Exteriors. And from the Stormmaster Exteriors studios, this is WSGW.
Good morning and welcome back to the Focus program. It's Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, and I'm joined by Shannon Forshee with Camp Fishtails. And Shannon, you guys have a big fundraiser coming up September 25th in Pinconning. Tell us all about the Camp Fishtails Fish Races fundraiser.
All right. So like you said, yes, Wednesday, September 25th, come on out to Camp Fishtails in Northern Bay County. And the fish races, think horse races, but with fish. They're a unique event where businesses or families sponsor a fish, and then they have their team decorate the fish, and they bring that to the races with them. We have 7 heats that race. We figure out the odds in between heats, and then the crowd bets on their favorite fish. The fish move along a track. It's actually a long table divided up into 10 sections, and each fish has a number associated with it, 1 through 6. We have celebrity rollers that come in and they roll the dice. Whatever number shows up, that fish moves 1 spot on the track, and the winner of each heat then goes to the final heat. That is where we crown the gold fish, the winner. And that night as well, we have an amazing, delicious fish dinner that's cooked up by our camp chef. It's very, very good. And we also have a silent auction and a live auction going on during the evening.
So, Shannon, if folks want tickets to this event, what do they need to do? Where do they go? What's the cost?
Yeah.
And how can they plan an awesome night at Camp Fishtails?
So the tickets are $25 a person, and that includes the fish dinner and then your evening of entertainment. Bring your dollar bills because you do bet in between the heats on your favorite fish. And then you cash out at the end of the night. You can get tickets at www.campfishtails.org. They're right on the main page, and click purchase tickets for the fish races, and it'll take you exactly where you need to be. If you'd like to purchase a fish, or your business or family would like to purchase a fish, those are $300, and then your business or family decorates that, brings it the night of, and that includes 4 tickets to the event as well. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And how do you have a limit on number of entrants you can take at this $300 level with their fish?
Yep, we stick to around 40.
And how many more do we have to go? What kind of work do we have to do?
Well, we probably, maybe like 10 more fish can be sponsored. I haven't counted as of this morning, but yeah, probably about 10 more fish we would be able to sponsor this year.
Outstanding. And so you have honorary co-chairs of the event, and I do believe this
do.
past week I saw an announcement. You want to share who your co-chairs are this year?
Yes. So our honorary chairs this year are Scott and Kelly Stasek, and they're from Game Changers. Game Changers provides tailored therapeutic programs for youth and younger adults. So they have a lot of the clients that we serve as campers and vice versa. So they are a staple in the community, and they help out all different people with their needs. So
love it. Thank you to Scott and Kelly and the folks at Game Changers for serving in that capacity. I also hear, and it's just a rumor, so I don't know if this is the case, but I hear this year you have an incredibly talented, sophisticated, articulate, good-looking MC. Is that the case?
I hear that as well. We do. Do I get to announce it?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Matt Felan, woohoo, is our MC this year. And we are so thankful that you are doing that for us. And we're excited to have you to bring the energy.
So you heard it. She said I was sophisticated and articulate and incredibly. These weren't my words. I mean, she said, is that how I remember it? No, it's honestly, it's humbling to be asked to serve in that role. I'm excited to do it. I haven't been up to this event before. Definitely been to Camp Fishtails several times, but to come up and MC an event like this, it's an honor that you asked, and I'm glad that we're going to do it. Although I do have to say, folks, I was a little horrified and worried the other day because, I'm told that these are the fish races, and then it was followed with, oh, and for dinner we have fish. I'm like, oh no, we're eating the contestants. This is terrible. Can you imagine the Kentucky Derby? And the Derby's over, folks. And now for dinner, we're going to have horse stew. I mean, everyone at Churchill Downs would be horrified. So we're not eating the contestants. That's correct. Okay.
And all the money from the event is going to camperships, programming, camp maintenance. A lot of our campers come in and they may not be able to afford to come to camp. We never, ever turn anyone down because they can't afford to come to camp. So this money will go towards that. We also have our Haunted Forest coming up, October 11th, 12th, 18th, and 19th from 7 until 10 p.m. 7 to 8:30 is kid-friendly. Other than that, 8:30 to 10, good luck leaving the property. It's scary. You walk through cabins. So, yes, that is the Haunted Forest, October 11th, 12th, 18th, and 19th, and tickets are at the door for that.
Yeah, and I have heard nothing but amazing things on that through the year. And I haven't been there yet. So I'm going to do that this year because I love haunted everything. I'm that guy.
Yeah, it's nice, too, because we have a bonfire where, the community gathers around. We have s'mores. So it's a great socializing time as well after you're done going through the forest.
Yeah, again, not to throw Tara under the bus, but we will. She's sadistic. And the creations that she puts in the middle of this and the work they put in to scare everyone is pretty significant. So if dead serious, if you scare easily and you find it traumatic, be warned. Yeah. It is truly a haunted, scary forest. This is awesome. So before we let you go, last thing, just period. If people want to know anything about Camp Fishtails, they may want to volunteer, donate, have talent, they want to get a camper involved. What's your website and how do they find you?
So www.campfishtails.org, but don't forget Tales is like the story, TALES. They can always call the office as well. And we're always happy for any help that we can receive. And we're excited for the fish races on September 25th. So come on out to camp. Even if you don't have a fish in the race, come on out for the good fish dinner and the racing fun.
Well, Shannon, thank you for all that you do. And I look forward to seeing you on the 25th of September.
Thank you so much, Matt.
Is your foundation showing signs of wear? Wendling Land Management is here to help. Our expert team specializes in foundation drainage